welcome back to another episode of Foodie Live. So today we're talking about food and sports, two of my favorite things. For restaurant owners, this is the time of the year when you look for unique items that keep customers coming back and enjoying the game with friends. Well, Chef Neil and our chefs from Pittsburgh and Cleveland have prepared some great ideas that you can add to your menu, or you can get inspired to create your own unique offerings. So don't forget that at every one of our Sysco locations, we have chefs in-house who can help you create your own personalized menu in our industry professional kitchens. So just book that consultation through your sales consultant and let them know what you want to do. They can help you out. All right, let's go ahead and quickly review some of the things that we have available to you today. If you're on our YouTube channel, you're watching us live, you can click on the description below and you have live links, everything that we're going to discuss right now that's available on our Sysco Events platform. So if you're watching on our Sysco Events platform specifically, on the left-hand side, you have a link with more great bar and grill items with an interactive digital flyer on foodie.sysco.com. Go ahead and check that out. On the right-hand side, we have a link to our featured partner, Upshow, where you can schedule a demo. We're going to talk a little bit more about that towards the end of our show today. On the left-hand side at the top, you have a link for our chef recipes that we're showing with photos, instructions, everything you need to replicate those recipes. And on the top right, you have a link to our Sysco shop items for you to purchase. So you don't have to wait. You can go ahead and check them out, click on them, put them in your basket, and have them in your operation. Or if you need help, go ahead and talk to your sales consultant. They can help you place those so that way you can have them. Okay, so at the end, like I mentioned, we have a Q&A with Scott from Upshow. And of course, as you saw in our advertisements for the show today, we have 3 lucky winners that we're going to announce for those of you who are joining us on our session live today. So make sure you stay with us, use the chat, ask questions through our Sysco Events platform, and enjoy. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started with our Foodie Live.
It's that time of the year. We're talking sports, food, and profit. Today we're on location in the Mid-East region inside the Pittsburgh site kitchen. As we get into full swing of the sports season, this provides plenty of opportunity for bars, grills, caterers, just about any food service operation to have a profitable season. Our chefs today are going to demonstrate value-added products, cross-utilization processes, and labor-saving ideas with the menu concepts they have created. Joining us is Chef Nick Weary and Chef Joseph Unitowski. Another useful tool that can help businesses during this time is one of our restaurant solutions partners, Upshow. Bars and restaurants are fast-paced spaces. Upshow gives you the tools to break through the chaos and create meaningful customer engagement. From social media displays of your customers enjoying their latest trivia night to promotions of the upcoming big game. This customer engagement platform combined with digital signage for restaurants will help you catch your customer's eye and drive them towards your objective. So let's get started. Welcome, Chef Nick. How are you doing?
Great, Chef. How you doing, man?
Good,
nice
good.
to see you.
So, hey, it's great to be in the Pittsburgh kitchen. I haven't been in Pittsburgh in years, and when we're talking sports, this is a sports city.
You know it.
So, you have a tailgating Pittsburgh-style drink.
Yeah.
Talk to me about it.
So, we're going to do a michelada today, and
What?
a michelada.
So we're bringing Texas to me. I thought I was coming to Pittsburgh.
I know. Well, I want you to feel at home here. So
Okay.
it's part of the deal,
So this is a
man.
tailgate thing that's for around this area. All
yeah.
right.
So something that we do here, we call them poor man Bloody Marys.
Skip the vodka, kind of go for the beer.
Yeah, we're going to go for the beer. So also known as a red eye. So what we've done today is we're featuring some local product as well as we're going to feature some European imports. And the reason that I picked some European imports for this presentation today is really you can sell that anywhere you want. It doesn't have to be just at an upscale restaurant. EI items are for everybody. So let's get started. And what we're going to do today is we're going to craft this cocktail. So we're going to dunk it in water. And so out in California, you'd use the
They don't have water in California. Go on.
yeah, there's no water right now. So they use the Tihan, right? And here we're going to use one of our Sysco products. This is Sysco McCormick Imperial branded peri peri. So
you're using the peri peri instead of tahini.
yes, sir.
So that's giving it a twist up in this part of the world as well. I know that we do carry it through European imports, and a lot of the opcos carry the tahini, but I like the peri peri because I think it's got a smoky kind of heat to it.
A little bit, right? So we've got some dried chilies, we've got cilantro, and tons of citrus to create this product, and just as simple as getting it down in a container, and we're going to use it on our rim, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to add some ice to this, and really this recipe it's 3 parts beer, and then it's going to be 1 part of the Make a Lot of Love Michelada mix, right? Yeah, that's
oh
the brand.
God, I love that. Wow.
Yeah.
And that is you're stocking this, or is this European?
This is a European import item.
Very cool. So everything is already ready to go, and it says catch on fire. So this has already got the heat in it.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of heat in it.
Perfect.
So we're gonna add some ice to this. Start with our beer. Of course, we got the Michelada mix. So we can add some lime juice or not. We can use lime as a garnish, and today we're gonna just use a lime and put it right in that drink. And some celery, because you know it kind of has the feel of a Bloody Mary, but not. And we'll use some of this. And then I took some cool products here. This is a pickled okra. It's spicy. And then some of the beautiful little peppadews, again, a European import item. Actually, both of those are. So simple recipe to pull off, and it's going to be delicious.
Love it. I mean, it looks beautiful. It's you've upscaled a beer cocktail. Love it. Gonna have it quick.
Please do.
And that's refreshing. Wow, I've never had one of those. That's awesome.
Awesome.
All right, so bring me something with more of a Pennsylvania twist.
All right,
what you got next?
All right, so again, I'm going to stick with some of the European import items again today, using that same spicy pickled okra, but also I'm going to use something that's local supplied through European import, and this is a dilled Brussels sprout. They're really good, and so you can eat them and eat them right out of the jar, or you can use them as a garnish for anything you're doing.
Show me that there.
Yeah,
So,
here you
so
go,
this is Paisley Farms, local from here, Ohio item, and wow, I haven't had this one yet, but who doesn't love Brussels sprouts?
Yeah.
So what do you do with them? So you took 2 pickle items, and now you're going to bring them forward in an appetizer, right?
Yes. So again, I used a twist on tempura. What I did was a Croto soda is the liquid that I use. It's lemon flavored. So it's going to add this real light, airy flavor to these pickled items and just put a twist on our tempura.
So you use a limonada on this, but you could use a San Pellegrino or
Sure.
whatever. So you use that kind of really lemony flavor to hydrate the tempura.
Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome.
You know, you can even use a Sprite, a soda, anything that you want.
Anything that's
We can put
carbonated.
yes, anything carbonated, right? So basically, and we want to make this feel like it's bar food today. And so you've got them all battered up beautiful, and we made a lemonade aioli to go along with it. Just a little garnish with some roasted peppers. And so that's a simple dish,
Well,
man.
listen, it screams bar food because it's fried food. I mean, if you think about bars, it's fried, it's carb related. It's anything to help us have another beverage, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Love it. So we'll put that one up there and go to our next one.
Here in Pittsburgh, man, they love pierogies. You know, I've talked to some friends of mine from California. They don't even know what pierogies are, chef. So it's
I thought it was like a Polish dumpling.
yeah, it kind of is really. And so what it is, it's a dumpling that's stuffed with potatoes and cheddar cheese. And a lot of times people like to boil these, but I like to change it up a little bit. I like to pan fry them. Once they're cooked, that pasta's cooked.
And you're using this in there as well.
Yeah, so this is produced through Buckhead beef. What we have here is the beast brat. Wild boar, bison, elk, and Wagyu, 25% each of those items. And then they go ahead and top it off with some jalapeno and some cheddar cheese that we're gonna throw inside of that mix.
So you're really spicing up that potato mix inside the pierogi.
Yeah.
So I love it. What's next?
So let's go, let's do a burger next. So I wanted to take a little bit of trendy product right now, and what that is, kimchi is everywhere, and what we're seeing, represented nationally is the #1 leading burger is a kimchi burger right now in the industry, believe it or not.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've combined it with Sysco Imperial coil fries, very simple. Baker sauce brioche, we topped it with a little bit of butter to give it that nice sheen. You can see the garnish again, we use that beautiful okra. We've got a company out of Cleveland called Cleveland Kraut. And so they make a beautiful kimchi, and in fact, it's gone national. You can find it in local grocery stores around the country now.
Well, kimchi's hot. I mean, it went from obscurity to mainstream really, really fast.
Yes, it did. So
I love that. So really, you got acid in there against the beef. You got the burger in there. You've got some cheese. Who wouldn't love that?
Yeah, Chef. Also, you know what we did? We kicked it up too. There's some bacon on there, and we did a candied bacon. We used some harissa and brown sugar to candy the bacon, and then we topped it with some local cheddar cheese. This is Middlefield Original. It's Amish country. There's 68 different farms that are part of the co-op that create this cheese. Beautiful product and super affordable.
I actually ate this, and it doesn't taste like a lot of them that is overly smoky. This was actually very, very nice.
Yes. Yeah, so we've got this one right here, Chef. Right, and so what we've done is we've done a take on pork belly, and so what I've done is I've used our Sysco Classic sous vide pork belly with this dish, and then I took it, diced it to nice large cubes, about 2 by 2 is the size that I did, and dusted it in some cornstarch, and we deep fried these guys. So at that point, I used some noodles with a power slaw. Really, it's a beautiful Sysco product, and it's got a bunch of different vegetables in that slaw. We did that with some Japanese dressing, gochujang.
Gochujang once again, and that's an item that you're stocking here, so easy to get.
So I took that gochujang paste and I mixed it with our Sysco Imperial Classic, or excuse me, our Sysco Imperial mild barbecue sauce to create a fused barbecue, and it fits right in. So. Topped it off with some crushed wasabi peas.
Again, I love that crunch. Wow.
Thank you, Chef. So you can get those wasabi peas, again, European imports. And then finally, I wanted to do a take on something Buffalo, because, you know, we're coming into football season.
Oh, you're not betting on the Buffalo Bills this early in the season, are you?
Not me, man. I'm a Steeler fan. So anyhow, what I did is I took bison and I created a buffalo sauce. The buffalo sauce is simple to put together. It's got red and green pepper, some onions, hot sauce. And the cool thing about hot sauce is when you let it cook down, it gets spicier. So we let that get nice and spicy. We tossed in the meatballs and topped it with some crumbled blue cheese. Great little dish as an appetizer.
Now, if we wanted to, we could actually use our Greco-Italian sausage bulk for this, right?
Certainly, Chef. We could definitely incorporate some Greco sausage into this. We could do this dish with some of our plant-based oats and turn that into a meatball.
Beautiful.
It would be another option for our vegan friends.
Well, Chef, you've come up with some beautiful dishes. Really exciting. I can't wait to share this with everybody. I mean, I'm actually going to make this one because the sauce was banger.
Well, thank you,
All right,
sir.
well, thank you so much, Chef. It's been a pleasure. So for our next guest, it's Cleveland's very own Chef Joe Uratowski. Joe, how's it going, bro?
I'm doing well. Welcome to Cleveland.
There we are. So, let's talk sports bars, sports food, and let me tell you something. Cleveland is the epicenter of sports bars.
We definitely have got great fans, and we always want great teams. And we work real hard to do it, too.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. It's some Texas stuff there going on, right?
Yeah. We don't want to thank you for that anyway, but that's okay. Hey, so the first dish I was thinking of is really kind of more brunchy. All right? So this is braised short rib. It is a fully cooked. I baked some cornbread out of our pre-made corn muffin mix. Okay?
Very nice.
Real nice baker's sauce, comes pre-done in a bucket, 2 buckets in a case. And then all you really need is a little bit of barbecue to finish. And this is our sweet and tangy barbecue.
Beautiful.
Right? A little bit of tots instead of doing maybe hash browns, because it is a bar. You don't really want to get involved with the griddle and people turning over, potatoes and things like that. And a little bit of a complex salad with some tomatoes going with that, and then of course some nice sunny eggs. And what's the thing about sunny eggs you have to do with this dish?
You've always got to crack the yolk, Joe.
Right?
Please do it.
So you just give it that, and you let it run right down.
Yep.
Right?
And so this is the CAB cooked short rib, right? So it's sous vide, technically.
It is sous vide, correct.
So that makes it super easy for any bar to handle because they don't have to do anything special.
The important thing is making sure that the portion is right.
Excellent.
Okay.
That is beautiful. What a great brunch starter.
All right. So, what goes better with bar than a little bit of pig? All right. So some people call them chicharrones. Most people just call them pork rinds. These come in a 15-pound block and barrel case. They're dried. You heat your fryer to 400 degrees. That's the important part. And then deep fry them. They puff up real nice and light. In fact, they're very light. They're not really a heavy kind of a snack. And then what I did was I kind of doubled up on the pig and I made some bacon chutney. All right, so the bacon chutney is really kind of, is a three component chutney. I'm using cold smoked bacon, brown sugar, and we have a block and barrel pickled red onion. All you do is reduce it down to a syrup, add the ingredients after adding the cooked bacon, and you have chutney. Now, add a little bit of cream cheese and a little bit of mayo just to make it creamy, and just dish up. It's a great complement to the pork rinds.
And I know that CES just launched a habanero bacon jam, so if they don't have time to make this from scratch, they can use that habanero bacon jam in place of this, or pretty much anything really, barbecue sauce, whatever. And this is like totally keto friendly.
It is keto friendly.
Keto friendly, look at that.
And it matters to me.
Joe, yes, absolutely. Throw that over there, and let's look at our next one.
Okay, so we're doing a little bit of a twist on fried green tomatoes, but I'm going to do them with tempura batter. So we have our Jade Mountain tempura batter, which I think is a phenomenal product. It's a crispy type batter, right? Just make it. I added a little bit of hot sauce, some black and white sesame seeds, made the batter. You just dust it with the batter and then into the fryer, okay? And you've got these great things. Now that's really a 3 to 4 ounce portion. That's less than $2 for that plate.
Yeah, and what's really amazing, so we've done quite a bit of fried green tomatoes over the years, and most of it's using Japanese breadcrumb or cornmeal.
Cornmeal, yeah.
But this, I mean, the coating on this is spectacular. I mean, you've got a beautiful aioli there, a little salad on the side to kind of lighten it up. But
a little bit of togarashi on top.
That is like, this is like, there's chili threads in the big game now. Yep. But I'm looking at this and I'm going, with the barbecue seasons and everything else, I'm thinking of what's really be spectacular is you took the really charred pieces of barbecue, chopped them up real fine and add them into this tempura as a kind of, bringing back a little bit of protein into that. But that is spectacular. I love the coating. It looks great. Not a hard dish to do, but God, it's got almost a white tablecloth appeal to it.
It really does. It really does. So, the thing is, though, when we talk to our customers, we talk to them about crossing over.
Right.
Crossing over items on the menu, crossing over components for the menu. So here, we did a tempura fried green tomatoes burger. All right, so the brioche bun, 8-ounce burger. There's our ground fried green tomatoes. Now, let's take the dip from the pork rinds.
Right.
All right, we're gonna pile that up nice and high.
Ooh.
Right? And then this is Japanese sweet barbecue sauce called yakiniku. We have a whole sushi line that we carry at Buckhead, and this is one of those products. So a little bit of that because you just need that little bit.
That's almost like an eel sauce, huh?
Exactly. And then top it off some fresh cut fries, and the North Coast. So the North Coast of America, we are known for our fresh cut fries. Goes back to our old carnival days. And everybody does them a different way. But either way, I mean, we've got obviously we've got a great produce program, so our Idaho potatoes, we stand by them, and that's what they're using for this.
And like you said, you've just cross-utilized the dish, two items.
Correct.
Yeah. Wonderful.
All right, next.
Spectacular.
Who doesn't like mac and cheese? The only difference is that what happens is that chefs are making big batches of mac and cheese. Okay, they're roasting them off, then they cool them down, and then they put them in ramekins and they microwave them, or they try and keep them hot, right? This is our gluten-free tortelloni, one of our just recent
cutting-edge solutions,
right? So it is a cheese-filled gluten-free tortelloni. You can go from frozen and cold cream right onto the range, bring it to a rolling boil, do a little reduction, and then I'm putting, of course, our local smoked cheddar that my friend talked about on the our last
look at this. It's like, this stuff is the bomb. I really, really like
it really
this.
is a great product. So here's the kitsch, right? A little bit of crumbled Cheez-Its with some smoked bread, a little bit of butter, and then you just toast it right on top, whether it be in the salamander or in the oven, or as Chef said, hey, we can do it real quick in the pan, and that's exactly what we did. So you're looking at something that probably you could tell them is take away the Cheez-Its, and you say now you have a gluten-free mac and cheese.
Yeah, we could actually do a Dorito because it's corn-based on top of it, and kind of still go with that kind of carnival kind of feel to it.
Carnival feel, exactly.
But I love it. I mean, it's a speed item. Once again, you can do it to order, or you can have someone done in advance. But this gluten-free tortelloni is already blanched. It's already
blanched. That's why it cooks in the cream as it reduces.
Nice.
All right. So now we're going to also feature some local sausage. Okay, who doesn't like a great poutine? All right, so fresh cut French fries again. Now this poutine is a local chorizo sausage. All I do is render the sausage out, and then you have to add those two main ingredients, ketchup and mustard. All right, so I've got ketchup, mustard, some brown sugar, a little bit of garlic, and a little bit of onions in this. All right,
that sounds like we used to make taco meat at home when we were kids, right? I mean,
this will give you a little bit of a warmth on the ends. I think you tasted it before when I was making it, and you know what? It has that nice warm feeling on the inside.
This is really 100% comfort food. I mean, this is. In your mind, when you're eating this, you can remember all of those kind of quick scratched meals that were made at home, that weren't quite restaurant grade, but it had that flavor, and this is exactly what that is.
Chefs are inventing poutine over and over and over again. So you know what? Take advantage of whatever you do on your menu. So, okay?
So you're taking the Canadian out of the Great Lake and bring it down here, right?
I am, right. All right, now this one's going to probably send you running for the hills.
Okay.
All right, and there's a lot of hills in Pittsburgh here, so, okay.
Wow, it's like skewered.
Yes.
Talk to me.
So this is a 5-to-1 Polish sausage from Block and Barrel. What I've done with this is I've taken the chorizo sausage and the smoked cheddar, again, cross-utilizing ingredients. It's extremely important on the menu. Helps food costs as well. Channeled the pork sausage, stuffed it with the chorizo and cheddar, wrapped it with 2 slices of applewood bacon, deep fried it, put it inside of a pretzel bun over our fresh cut fries.
Starting to sound like the Cleveland State Fair here. Go on.
So I also made, because you also have to put like a slaw. This goes back to those street days when you had the Polish boys served off of the cart on the street, right on the corner where the businessmen used to come down, and that was the quick lunch, right? So I made some red cabbage and bacon chutney slaw. Oh, wait a minute, bacon chutney coming from the dip before I add the cream cheese. Now goes into this and becomes this smoky red cabbage slaw. So it adds a lot of color and a heck of a lot of flavor.
And a lot of tradition.
So speaking of tradition, okay, there's a battle going on in Cleveland, okay? There are 2 stadium mustards. This is one that's called the Authentic. And of course, on that, you always have to have a little authentic mustard. So a little bit of this. And you have a Cleveland.
And that's an old world mustard right there. That's not your yellow Frenchies and everything else. That's real kind of.
This is the one that they serve at the ballpark. So we call that the squealing Polish boy.
I mean, hey, who better to do it than a good Polish lad, right?
That's right.
Listen, it's spectacular. It's fun. It's like you said. It's that carnival, a kind of street fair. I mean, this is really bringing it home, and that's why I was really excited to be here in Pittsburgh and Cleveland, because you guys are sports fans. Thank you very much, Chef. It's been a pleasure.
Nice seeing you, Neil.
If you enjoy the recipes you saw today, check out our previous episodes of Foodie Live for more inspiration. The recipes and product links are available in the Foodie descriptions below for you to purchase and download. And as always, don't forget to follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you next time. Cheers.
All right, thanks again to Chef Joe and Chef Nick for those great ideas. We hope that sparked some thoughts for your menu for this sports season. Really appreciate that. So, all right, as we mentioned, we have a Q&A at the very beginning, and we have with us, as you can see, we have Scott Iksanovitz from Upshow with us. He's ready to provide us more information about the platform, how it can benefit our viewers, our customers, just in general for not only the sports season, but year round. So Scott, thank you for being with us. Really appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Kanan.
Awesome. Cool. All right. So let's go ahead and get started with the basics. Let's go ahead and tell everybody about Upshow. What do they need to know?
Yeah, absolutely. So first and foremost, we very much appreciate the opportunity to be here and our partnership with Sysco. Upshow at its core is television software really designed to create and enhance the experience on premise. So while you either have your consumers or patrons or even your employees inside the four walls of your venue, we are trying to enhance the experience that those folks have while they are visiting your venue. And ultimately, while they're there, trying to drive meaningful behaviors. So whether that is revenue driving behaviors for your consumers or whether that is more engaging actions from your employees, we use television screens to be able to deliver on the most important actions that your business is looking to drive.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So as you're seeing customers, how are they leveraging their TVs, their digital screens currently?
Yeah, for sure. So I think there's a couple different ways that businesses are able to do it. So when you think about sort of your individual location or just a few location, what we'll call mom and pop type restaurant groups, there's always a couple different environments that there might be a television position. So if we take the consumer facing screen, or what we'll call the front of house screen first, you might have them in the bays around a bar. You might have a couple of them dispersed throughout the dining room. You might have one in a lobby or waiting area. Really what folks are doing with those screens is they're trying to deliver on a couple different things. So it's either trying to create a longer dwell time, so getting people to stay a little bit longer, which we know has some benefits to an increase in check size and all of that. It could be that they're looking to just provide a different experience than maybe the live sporting event that's on. So you might have some patrons that come in and they see the live sporting event and they love that game. But how do you create a companion screen experience to that? So could you leverage the screen next to it or another screen in there to provide sports betting odds or trivia? Or I think we saw the watch to win video early on, which we can talk about here shortly. We're trying to create something that either gets people to sit in their seat longer or even potentially stay when they otherwise might leave during a sporting event.
That's true. Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. I've seen that previously. So how does that help the business grow? How does that experience help?
Yeah, so we like to break things down and think about businesses. They can make money in three ways, right? So they can help generate new customers or drive new customers in. They can get people to stay a little bit longer and spend a little bit more money. So ultimately an increase in their check size or ticket size while they're there. Or they can come back more frequently. So we like to curate a television experience on those screens that really ultimately drives on one of those three things. So when you think about the commercials that will play on the screens, these are your branded commercials. So these are things that if we're thinking about an increase in check size, they might be promoting your newest menu item or an LTO or some type of promotion that you have going on for a menu item that you want someone to purchase. If you're thinking about driving people back in more frequently, as we know, loyalty programs, email distribution lists, app downloads, things like that are great ways to get more repeat visitation. So we try to promote any type of loyalty program that you have. And then lastly, how do you help generate new customers? So we leverage a couple different ways in doing that. So the screen might promote social media, which has become a really great way to create sort of an organic word of mouth marketing campaign inside your community, which is, Kanan, you and I might be at a bar, restaurant, and we might take a selfie of ourselves eating the food or show how great the food might look, and we'll post it out to, well, you probably have more followers than I do, but we might post this out to our followers on social media, and now all of a sudden you're tagging the restaurant and you're tagging that environment, so now all of your friends and your network gets to see that, and they're like, hey, if Kanan's eating there, it's got to be a great place. So social media is a great way to drive folks in. Google reviews, things like that. We can prompt guests to post a 5-star review about your location, which is a great way to ultimately help find new folks and drive new folks in. So we're always trying to leverage the television screens to help the brand or the restaurant itself drive folks in.
Okay, awesome. That's cool. So you mentioned some of the different entertainment offerings and things like that. You mentioned something about watch to win. You want to elaborate a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So when you think about really what Upshow is doing for a particular restaurant, is we're building you your own TV channel or your own TV network. And what's kind of cool about this is that it's a blend and it kind of mirrors what people expect from a typical TV experience, which it'll have anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes of really entertaining content. And then it will go into some of the commercials that I just talked about. So, Kanan, as you were asking, sort of like, what are some of the entertainment options that you have the ability to provide? I think there's a couple things. The first thing we like to think about, especially in a sports bar environment, is like how do we bring hyper local and hyper relevant sports content to the screen? And what I mean by that is a bar restaurant that might be in Minneapolis is going to expect different sports content than a bar restaurant in Miami, Florida. So how do we bring, whether it's high school sports scores, whether it's college sports scores and highlights, or whether it's professional sports scores and highlights, we're going to bring those things curated to the location in which you're in. And by doing that, that typically will draw a more avid fan base, right? You're going to have people that are more interested in that sports content that are in that particular market. But beyond sports, we can bring a whole variety of different content. So it could be viral video content. It could be follies and flaws, and we've all seen what is the new age version of America's Funniest Home Video type content. How do we bring that stuff to the screen that maybe if you're not interested in sports or there isn't a sports game on, how do you continue to have people that are looking for this type of content? But then lastly, we also have interactive content, which, I joke we sort of became famous for powering the trivia experience at Buffalo Wild Wings. But this is a pretty cool way to get people interacting with not only the TV screen, but your brand as a whole. And those interactive experiences could be trivia. They could be sports betting odds if it's legal in your state. It could be e-gaming, but then it could also be watch to win, which is, as you just mentioned, Kanan, is a really cool feature that we have. So when you're watching a live sporting event, typically there is stats and things that are going up on the screen. We are getting the live feed from that game just as the announcers are getting live statistics that are happening in that game in real time. So what we're able to do is bring sort of a cool, call it bar restaurant experience specific to a game that you're watching. So if we're in Minneapolis, the Vikings might be playing the Lions, and at the beginning of the game, our TV screen will flash something that says if the Minnesota Vikings final score ends in an even score, everybody in the bar restaurant gets a free appetizer on their next visit. So what we've done there is, one, we've gotten people to stay throughout the entirety of the game, right? Because you got to wait till the end to actually see and get that promotion. But then we've also gotten a bounce back visit because we've said, hey, you can't redeem this until you come back the next time. So we've done a couple things that are really important for revenue generation. But the other thing that we've done when we're talking about enhancing the experience is we've gotten the entire bar or restaurant rallied behind the Minnesota Vikings having an even score. So you kind of have everybody in there kind of rooting and cheering, and it really does create this cool network effect that we're trying to achieve. And it really helps ultimately level the playing field for smaller bars and restaurants against some of those big national players. So I know I mentioned Buffalo Wild Wings or a Dave & Buster's. It's hard for some of the smaller local mom and pops to compete with them. Upshow, because it provides a great opportunity for them to compete at that national level.
I love that. That's one of the things I think that's really cool is when you get that feel inside of an establishment, whether it be a bar or restaurant, but people engaging together, especially when it comes around sports. It's awesome. So that watch to win, that seems like a very cool feature. Okay, so some of the other things, I know that you and I previously we've talked, and it's a full audio experience. So that's available also with it. It's not just video, but there's also sound integrated into it. And there was a couple other things that you had mentioned to me too, that there's a place for employees. So for the back of the house also. Do you want to touch on that quickly?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll touch on the employee facing screen and then I'll sort of bring it all together with the audio itself. So we've talked a lot about the screen in the front of house and that's facing consumers and exactly what that consumer experience is. However, we also will help put a screen in your back of house or in the kitchen area. Heart of house could be for the servers. But the idea here is a television screen is positioned somewhere that is employee facing, and it's designed to do a couple different things. First, it's really been designed to ultimately communicate. We know that this world has become very challenging to recruit great talent, retain great talent, and ultimately deliver the right message that gets all the way through maybe the owner or operator, all the way through the GM and through to the frontline staff as they're switching shifts. So how do you use television screens to deliver real-time communications that are really important to the staff? So this could be anything from talking about a new promotion that you have going on. It could be talking about a vacation policy that you might have. It could be talking about new shifts that you might be offering. It could be a message or a short little video from the GM or the owner operator about how they want to motivate the staff that day. That can be a way that you can sort of communicate to the staff. But then take it a step further. We do have the capabilities of integrating with things like a POS system or a training system or an HR system, depending on where you get some of your most important messaging. And this is a great way to ultimately drive up sales. So if you create a contest or a leaderboard around a particular new menu item or an LTO, or even if you know you have an item that might have a high spoilage rate or might be spoiling in a certain period of time, how do you promote those things and try to drive either your cashiers or your servers to sell more of those items within a period of time? You could reward them with a gas card or a gift card of some sort. It's a great way to sort of create some internal competition, but ultimately deliver on the things that are most important to your business. So a screen facing the employees becomes very, very cool. But then if you bring together the whole holistic solution, we like to think about front of house consumer behaviors. We like to think about back of house employee behaviors. But then that's all. I've talked a lot about it through video, through the video lens. You also have the opportunity. We are a full audio video experience. So the audio experience not only is tied and can be tied to the video content that's on the screens, but we also provide a premium audio experience. So if you're trying to create an ambiance in the front of house for your consumers, not only can it be a video experience, it can also be a background or premium audio experience that provides the music that fits the vibe and the ambiance that you're trying to create inside your venue.
Awesome. All right, cool. So Scott, there's a lot of great information that you gave us. Really appreciate it. Is there anything else that you want to share with the audience before we wrap up?
I think first of all, again, Kanan, thanks so much for the opportunity and the great partnership with Sysco. I think what Upshow really values is our partnership with Sysco and ultimately the preferred pricing that we're able to give to the Sysco network. So Upshow's rate card price is well over $100 a month a location or a license for our service. Through our partnership with Sysco, we actually offer our solution for just $75 a month a license, which is really exciting, and that is some of the best pricing that we offer in the marketplace. So you should thank your partners at Sysco for negotiating such a great rate, and we are happy to be able to offer that to all of you and all of the different participating Sysco partners.
Awesome. Cool. Very, very, very much appreciate your time, Scott. Thanks again. For those of you who haven't seen it in the YouTube link, there's in the description below. You can go ahead and click on that for a demo to be able to schedule that, to get more information on it. Or if you're on our Sysco events platform, you can go ahead and click, and that's off to your right. All right. Thank you, Scott, very much. So now it's time to announce our lucky winners. What we're doing is we're giving away a Foodie merch bag. We have some cool items, foodie related, and we really want to appreciate you guys spending time with us today. So we have our 3 winners that I have in front of me, and those 3, first we have Mike from Mike Wings Are Kings out in Birmingham, Alabama. Wings Are Kings. Congratulations, Mike. We have Doug White from Orient, Ohio, Tavern 62. That's Doug White from Tavern 62. And we also have Braden Klinger from Bull Run Tap House out in Lewisburg, PA. So congratulations to those 3 winners. We will be contacting you to be able to get those prizes over to you. So thanks again for everybody who attended our Foodie Live today. We look forward to bringing you more content in the future. In the meanwhile, if you're looking for more and you haven't seen our past episodes, you can see them on our Sysco YouTube channel. Follow us on social media. We appreciate you and have a great day.